Welcome back to the basic of the cosmic law. I have been reading this amazing book by Svetlana Toukova from chapter 1 to 6, and now we are on chapter 7. 7 is my very lucky number, and this chapter is also very interesting, the hierarchy of light. So how is it up there in heaven? What's how it's organized and stuff? Some of the ascended masters are especially close to us. Morya is one of them. As explained before, there is more ascended masters than Jesus and Buddha and other people. So Morya is one of them. He was one of the 3 wise men who came to adore the newborn Jesus. He embodied as King Arthur, who led the Knights of the Round Table in their quest of the Holy Grail. He came to the land of Mother Russia as Saint Sergius or Redoses. He was Archbishop Thomas Becket and Sir Thomas More. During his last embodiment at the end of the 19th century, together with Mahatma K.H., presently Ascended Master Kutumi, he founded the Theosophical Society and worked with Helena Blavatsky, conveying through her the esoteric knowledge explaining the nature of things, the origin and evolution of the macrocosm of the universe, and the macrocosm and the microcosmos of man. After his own ascension in 1898, Morya continued the delivery of the sacred knowledge to mankind. Beginning in the 1920s, he dedicated, through Nicholas and Helena Reoric, the priceless book of Agni Yoga, or Agni of Fire, that constitutes the highest form of yogi practice. Among the Ascended Brotherhood who continued to work for the illumination of unascended mankind are such well-known figures as Jesus the Christ, Mother Mary, and numerous saints of the Christian world. Gautama Buddha, Confucius, Zarathustra, Seraphis of Egypt, all of them, although often considered by people on earth to be the founders of religions that are incompatible with each other, work together because the knowledge they bring on earth come from the same source. The Ascended Masters belong to the cosmic hierarchy of light, that is the universal chain of beings, each of whom embodies a certain aspects of the consciousness of God. The position of an ascended being on the hierarchy ladder is determined by the level of his and her attainment, i.e. by the extent to which he or she has transcended the limitation of the human nature and has become the manifestation of the pure light of God. Besides the Ascended Masters who have passed through a number of incarnations on earth and returned to the octaves of light, there are other beings in hierarchy who have never embodied in human forms and therefore have never created human karma. Angels and archangels. Angels and archangels have always been, for the people of earth, the most comprehensible representatives of hierarchy. They are our friends, assistants, and protectors, of always ready to help. Understanding of the I Am as the presence of God individualized for each and every one was given to mankind in the early 1930s through Guy and Edna Ballard, messenger of the Ascended Host and leaders of the I Am movement. In the second half of the 20th century, at the end of the dark cycle, when the karma of mankind was descending with increasing intensity, which might have led to the destruction of the planet, our friends from the octaves of light came to assist us once again, teaching the theoretical knowledge and practical skills necessary for holding the balance of the planet. In 1958, El Morya founded the Summit Lighthouse, the organization meant for the publishing of the teachings given by the Ascended Masters and cosmic beings through the messenger Mark and Elizabeth Clare Prophet. The Summit Lighthouse bridged the gap between Piscean and Aquarius, the Pisces, how it spells, the Pisces and the Aquarius, and marked a turning point in the Ascended Masters' activity on Earth. The immense body of teachings that was delivered in the course of about 40 years contains essential knowledge that is necessary for personal and planetary transformation. The moment has come, and the Masters have told us it would come at some point, for the people of Earth to accept this knowledge and make use of it. The time has come to take responsibility for our planet and our own spiritual path. To some of this might sound scary, but divine mercy is infinite. It not only gives us an opportunity for attunement, but also provides numerous instruments and methods that help us achieve our goal as soon as possible. It sends us assistants who render their help lovingly and joyfully. They are quite numerous, but some of them are especially close to us, and now we are going to get to know them better. In the next chapter we will be introduced to the Lord of the Seven Rays. That is very interesting. The Lord of the Seven Rays. Chapter 8. The Seven Aspects of the Consciousness of God. Wow. The pure white light of the white fire core of God contains within itself the infinity of the attributes of God in their indistinguishable oneness. However, even as physical light passing through a prism refracts into seven spectral colors, the pure light of the consciousness of God gaining definiteness in the world of plurality manifest as seven rays, which are seven aspects of the consciousness of God. Each ray has a certain wavelength and frequency different from the others and represent a certain quality of God's being and consciousness. An ascended master angel or cosmic being is said to serve on a certain ray. If he or she has chosen to embody the quality of that ray, each of the seven masters we are about to meet represent a certain ray of God and serves mankind by sustaining and promoting the development of the corresponding quality in mankind's consciousness. Each unascended Chela of the Ascended Masters, a Chela is a student of the Masters and their teachings, is also called to serve on a certain ray. Some already know what their ray is, and some are going to discover this in the future. Here is the description of the seven rays and their qualities. It is. I'm very excited about this knowledge because it is very interesting to know about the 7 rays and the quality. So every ray has certain colors, and Chelas, who is working directly with masters. There is a lot of Chelas in this world who communicates with the masters. They also serve on a certain ray. So this is very interesting. The first ray is blue. It represents the power and the will of God. It is the ray of statesmen, politicians, economists, military men, and those who guard and protect individuals and society as a whole. The Lord, or as they would say in the East, the Kohan of the first ray is the Ascended Master Morya. The blue flame of the will of God is the flame of protection. In moments of danger, we call to Archangel Michael and his angels of blue flame, who serve on the first ray. In the physical world, the vibration of the first ray is focused by the crystal of sapphire and diamond. Sapphire and diamond. The second ray, the ray of wisdom, is golden yellow. Those who serve on this ray work for enlightenment and education. I love this ray. I love this ray. I love this wisdom, the yellow ray. Lord Lanto, Kohan of the second ray, combines the ancient wisdom of the East with the teachings of the New Age manifest in the Western Hemisphere. The flame of wisdom is also represented by Archangel Jophiel and the angels of illumination. The gemstones that correspond with the second ray are yellow diamond, yellow sapphire, and topaz. So when we think about the second ray, yellow ray, we think about the yellow chakra. We will probably come into this later, but the yellow chakra is I love to meditate on the yellow chakra when I meditate. So it is, I love the feeling about this ray. The third ray is pink. This ray of love overshadows those who are called to convey the beautiful image reflecting the idea of divine love through fine arts. Kohan of the third ray is Paul the Venetian, the divine artist, who embodied as the greatest Renaissance master Paulo Veronese. Archangel Chamuel and the Archangel of Love bring the blessing of the third ray to each particle of life in the universe. The vibration of the ray of divine love crystallizes on the physical level in the ruby, rose quartz, pink beryl, and garnet. So love is, as everyone knows, very, very important. Paul the Venetian is also a special, very special man. The fourth ray, Ascended Master, I mean. The fourth ray represents the quality of purity. The white flame is the flame of ascension, and Seraphis Bey, the lord of the fourth ray, receives those who have finished the round of earthly incarnations and are ready to ascend to the realms of light. Gabriel, archangel of the fourth ray, is also known as the angel of Annunciation, for it was he who announced to Mary that she was going to give birth to the divine child. The flame of the fourth ray is crystallized in the gemstones of diamond, quartz, and zircon. This flame is also known as the flame of the mother, and as such it has white pearls as its physical focus. So Serpis Bay is Ascended Masters I kind of fear, but sometimes at the same time I love him, because the white flame, it's a quality of purity, but it's also discipline, and I am not so disciplined, so I will thrive to learn from him because I need discipline. The fifth ray is the emerald green ray of truth and healing. The devotees of this ray are representative of different branches of science, medicine, and healing. They are tutored by Master Hilarion, well known to the Christian world by his embodiment as the Apostle Paul. The healing power of the fifth ray also comes to us through the Immaculate Heart of Blessed Mother Mary, the merciful sponsor and protector of all who live on planet Earth. Archangel Raphael and the healing angels serve together with Mary. The most popular gemstone of the fifth ray are jade and emerald. So people who wants to learn healing should learn from Ascended Master Hilarion. The sixth ray is purple and gold. Its way is the way of service, and it is followed by those whose calling is to serve the flame of God living in his creation. Lady Master Nada is the koan of the sixth ray. During her last embodiment, she eschewed personal ambition and instead dedicated her entire life to the prayer and service on behalf of her numerous brothers and sisters. This selflessness and service balanced her karma and brought her to the higher level of existence. Her angelic co-workers on the sixth ray are Archangel Uriel and his band of angels. The physical crystals bearing the vibration of the sixth ray are topaz, ruby, alexandrite, diamond with pearl. So if you are a person who dedicate your life to some cause or to help somebody, you are serving Lady Master Nada and the koan of the sixth ray. It's very, very interesting. Now, my favorite ray, I would say, it's difficult to choose a favorite ray, but the seventh ray of the divine alchemy and transmutation is violet. I love violet flame. It is represented by the Ascended Master Saint Germain, the Wonder One of Europe, who amazed French society in the 18th century with miraculous alchemical transformation, the precipitation of riches, and the manifestation of wonders of longevity. As Jesus was the hierarchy of the 2000-year Piscean age, Saint Germain is the hierarchy of the 2000-year Aquarian age, in which we find ourselves. So we are now in Aquarian age, the Aquarian age of Saint Germain. He has the overlap from Jesus to Jesus in the Piscean age to the Aquarian age. He is assisted in his work by Archangel Zadkiel, Holy Amethyst, and the angels of the violet flame. Amethyst, diamond, and aquamarine are the gemstones focusing the frequency of the seventh ray in this physical. And now we are at chapter 9. Now it's very interesting to learn about the seven rays, the koan of the seven rays. So there is a lot of books written about them, and many of them is sold from the Summit Lighthouse, but is also on Amazon. I would recommend books written by Elizabeth Clare Prophet or Mark Prophet. But if you are new, you should probably read this book first to get a good understanding of everything. Chapter 9, the alchemist workshop. So, Saint Germain, the seventh ray, he is the true alchemist master, and this is a very exciting chapter, for sure. Madame du Hosset, Lady of Chamber to the Marquise de Pompadour, relates in her memories that one day the King of France showed a second quality diamond to Saint Germain and asked if Monsieur de Comte could improve it. Saint Germain agreed, and a month later he returned the gem without any flaw in it. This man removed defects of precious stones, transformed dried twigs into blossoming trees, and transmuted cheap metals into gold. He was an alchemist. What does this mean? First of all, it is necessary to note that Saint Germain could perform all these wonders so easily because he was an ascended master in physical embodiment. So that's like saying Jesus just suddenly appeared on earth in a physical embodiment, with a physical body, and walking around with us. But that is what Saint Germain did. It was the rarest case when an ascended being who had already passed to the octaves of light was allowed to descend into embodiment on earth once again in order to once again render assistance to mankind. 13,000 years ago he served as the highest priest of the temple of the sacred fire in Atlantis. He embodied as the prophet Samuel and Saint Joseph, father of Jesus. He also was Merlin, the legendary seer and magician who supported King Arthur in his holy endeavors. As Christopher Columbus, he discovered the American continent, and as Francis Bacon, he introduced the scientific methods that led to the creation of the technologies we enjoy today. The famous plays known as the work of William Shakespeare were also written by Sir Francis. He made his ascension on May 1st, 1684, and returned to Francis de Comte de Saint-Germain in the second half of the 18th century. He has been a friend of Earth, bringing the light of divine wisdom to mankind and helping to sustain the burning of God's flame within their hearts. But in the 21st century his role became especially important. April 23, 2002 marked the end of the Age of Pisces, sponsored by Jesus, and the beginning of the Aquarian Age that is sponsored and guided by the Ascended Master Saint Germain. So, as we talked about in previous chapter, Jesus Christ, he didn't take our karma and wipe it out. He hold it. He kind of hold it for us in 2000 years. What he really did, he was slowing it down so it didn't come to us, so we had to face it. So now when 2000 years have passed and mankind is more ready to face the karma that is awaiting for us, we are more prepared, and the world won't burn in the process. So now we are in the Aquarian Age, sponsored and guided by the Ascended Master Saint Germain. He came together with the other masters at the end of the Age of Pisces, at the dramatic moment when the accelerating descent of karma could flood the planet with oceans of mankind's negative karma. Returning as war, disease, famine, and natural disasters. Just like before the coming of Jesus, the weight of human karma was so great that the survival of mankind was impossible without the divine intervention. And so, Saint Germain came with his great gift, the gift of divine alchemy. Divine alchemy. That's an interesting word. It would be too native to presume that he came to teach people how to get diamonds out of the air and how to transform lead into gold. This becomes absolutely clear when you open the book Saint Germain on Alchemy and see the subheading, The Science of Self-Transformation. Now we are talking about divine alchemy. Divine alchemy always go in to the inner. What he is talking about is the transformation of consciousness, i.e. the transmutation of the corruptible metal of human consciousnesses into the incorruptible gold of the consciousness of Christ. The Aquarian Age is the age in which we take responsibility for the karma that Jesus has carried on our behalf for 2000 years. Before the coming of Saint Germain, which is gift of divine alchemy, with his gift of divine alchemy, the only way of balancing karma was to pass all karmic tests. As we talked before, when we reincarnate, and suddenly we face our karma again, and if we pass the test, we go on, but if we fail, we have to face it again. So the only way of balancing karma have always been to pass all karmic tests. Everyone had to talk their own via dolorosa, or way of sorrows, carrying the self-made cross of his individual karmic burden. Often the individual's karmic debt would have to be paid in tears for all tears ever shed through his actions, and in suffering for all the pain he had ever caused other. What comes around goes around. This way of transmuting karma is still present in life. But the master alchemist, Saint Germain, gave us a miraculous means that allow us to transmute considerably layers of our karma even before they come into manifestation as a certain negative events in our life. That is very, very special. So we can transmute considerably layers of our karma before they come into manifestation. So we can transmute it before we face it. This wonderful means this miraculous alchemical elixir given to us by Saint Germain is the violet flame. Violet flame is the flame of the seventh ray. It is the energy of the highest level of vibration in the visible spectrum. Violet fire burns through like a laser beam and dissolves all impurity and density that we have created out of the pure light of God sent to us by the crystal cord. Violet flame penetrates into the deepest level of our electronic belt, where all our negative karma is stored, and frees the energies imprisoned therein, purify them, and returns them to their original pure state. The electrons in the atoms constituting our bodies are particles of pure light. They remain such as long as the energies descending via the crystal cord remain unchanged. However, when we misuse the divine light, the dense darkened energies begin to clog the spaces between the electrons, dimming their light and lowering their vibration. That is how the concrete substance preventing us from hovering above the earth is formed. And that is where the violet flame transmuting is needed. So we can learn to fly if we don't have karma, in other words. The image on the right shows how the beams of the violet fire penetrates through the density, rarefying it and eliminating the darkness. The image on the left demonstrates the atom purified by the transmuting action of the alchemical elixir of Saint Germain. The beams of violet fire penetrate through the density, rarefying it and eliminating the darkness. This is a very nice visualization. If we just close our eyes and visualize on this image, all the electrons in our bodies have this violet flame, it will be a very good meditation. The image of the left demonstrates the atoms purified by the transmuting action of the alchemical elixir of Saint Germain. So this is a purified atom. So we see the violet flame is a precious, priceless gift indeed. It is able to change our life drastically. But in order to be able to do its work, it needs to be invoked. There is a special science of invocation known as the science of the spoken word. So we need to use our free will to invoke the violet flame, to bring it to us. So this is the end of this reading. I will continue with the next video on chapter 10. So